See, the guy who built the house on the sand had the option of building it on the rock if he was going to put the discipline in to dig down deep enough. Somewhere beneath the sandy soil, there will always be rock, but most people don't have the discipline to deal with the sandy stuff to get to the rock in you. If you don't come pre-packaged, they get rid of you because it's too much work. Oh, y'all don't want to talk to me.
This is the potter's touch.
Greetings, my brothers and sisters. I'm excited and delighted to have the opportunity to share the word of the Lord with you. I know that the flower fades, the grass withers, but the word of the Lord, hey, it's going to stand forever. There's no question about God's word. The question is about us. Do we have the discipline to do what God has called us to do? Not just to hear it, not just to shout about it, not to sing about it, to do. You got to do it. It won't work if you don't do it. You got to break down and do it. Stop complaining. Stand up to it like the man and woman God has called you to be. Having done all to stand, do those things God has called you to do and watch it work for your good. The series is Work Your Faith. The message is the discipline of doing. So let's get down to it. Take a look at this.
This is not about the house. The house is the metaphor showing you what it is like when you have the discipline of doing the word. He said, it is like a man who built his house and dug it all the way down till he hit the rock. He says, this man built his house on a rock, but he had to put the work where people couldn't see. I've never seen, whether here or Dallas, pier and beam or traditional foundation, somebody walk up and say, oh, that's the most beautiful pier and beam I've ever seen. Ooh, look at how lovely that foundation is. No, most of all, they can't see it. The underground work must be done before above ground exposure. I wrote a book years ago. I wish I had waited and wrote it over now because I could write it so much better now than I wrote it at the time. I wrote a book, Can You Stand to Be Blessed? Can you stand to be blessed? Can you stand up to it? You busy talking about give it to me, but can you stand? Can you stand to be blessed? Can you stand up to it? It's not are you talented enough. It's not are you gifted enough. Can you stand up to all the things that come from it? Can you stand? And see, everybody wants to do the above ground work. Because the above ground work is the pretty stuff. Oh, look at the stone and look at the windows and look at the steeples and look at the doors and look at this and look at the landscape. Oh, the landscaping. Have you ever seen such landscaping in all of your life? Oh, the interior decorating was just absolutely amazing. That's the stuff that gets you. The hand claps is for the above ground work. But it does not matter how beautiful things are above ground if there's all kind of craziness beneath the ground. Eventually, everything above ground will sink if you don't put the effort underground. You have to have discipline to do that. You have to be willing to work in places people don't see. You have to be willing to take the time that is necessary to prepare the foundation, even the more when you believe God is going to do something great in your life. The work goes down before the building goes up. Now imagine his neighbor across the street is building twice as fast. Because his neighbor across the street, he just started building straight up. Didn't dig it out, just start building up. I realize now that there wasn't so much difference in the soil. The difference was in the prep. I used to say one man built his house on sand and the other man built it on the rock, but I overlooked the fact that the guy who built on the rock did not build on the rock because the rock was there. He built on the rock because he dug to the rock. So you can build a rocky house in a sandy place. I used to think this was a soil test. But when I realized that the man who built on the rock had to dig to hit it, I realized that this test is not about soils. Neither one of them found the soil conducive to build what they were trying to build. It's just that one man was willing to dig down and the other man was impatient and wanted to go up. See, the guy who built the house on the sand had the option of building it on the rock if he was going to put the discipline in to dig down deep enough. Somewhere beneath the sandy soil, there will always be rock, but most people don't have the discipline to deal with the sandy stuff to get to the rock in you. If you don't come pre-packaged, they get rid of you because it's too much work. Oh, y'all don't want to talk to me. The problem then is not the conditions, it's the discipline. Both of them stepped into soil that was not conditioned for what they were building. One of them dug through it because he understood the power of foundation, and the other one didn't think it mattered that the soil wasn't ready for what his vision had seen. So when we are doers of the word, we will dig for the rock. If you are hearers of the word, you go for the promise without the preparation. But in being a doer of the word, you will prep for the promise because you know the promise is shata. You know the promise is big enough that it justifies preparation so that when it does appear, it will not disappear. Oh, y'all don't hear what I'm saying. Yeah. If somebody in here understands what I'm talking about, look at somebody and say, I'm working on something. I'm working on something. I know it doesn't look like I'm working on something because you don't see no bricks and you don't see no fancy doors yet. You don't see no gables yet, but I'm working on something. I know it looks like I got a big old hole in my yard, but I'm working on something. I know I don't have shrubs like he got. I don't have roses like she has. I don't have stone walls like he had. That's all right. I'm looking shabby, but I'm working on something. When I get through digging down to this rock, as soon as I hit her, oh my God, I don't know who I'm preaching to, but I feel like I'm talking to somebody in this room. God is saying it is worth it to hit the rock. It is worth it to look bad for a little while and come up looking good for a lifetime than to look good for a minute and come down in a flash. Slap your neighbor and say it's worth it. It's worth it. I learn in the doing. I learn in the struggling. My strength tolerance increases. My ability to handle pain increases. My wisdom increases. My ability to deal with haters increases. I'm tougher now. I'm stronger now. I got more fight, got more fire, got more wisdom. I wish there was somebody in this room. I need some slow-cooked people in this room. I need some people that's been through hell and back. I need some people that's been dug down to the rock and said, having done all to stand, I'm gonna stand anyway. Oh, if you got a rock in you, give the Lord a praise right now.
Still to come on The Potter's Touch.
It's a mess over here. The lightning is flashing. It's a mess over here. The thunder is rolling. It's a mess over here. I don't have the help I need. It's a mess over here. I'm stuck in the storm. My mind may be distraught. My body may be racked with pain. My enemies may surround me. But God, I still believe you. If I can have my little prayer time with him in the morning, I don't care what happens that day. I walk out the door armed and dangerous.
For helping us reach others with your gift of any size, you'll receive Radical Faith from the Unbeaten series on CD. Just write us, visit our website, or call 1-800-BISHOP-2. And when your gift is $70 or more, we'll give you all 5 Unbeaten messages on DVD as well.
I know who I am, I know where I am, I know whose I am, and I know when it's all over, I'm going to get the victory.
However, when your gift is $125 or more, we'll also add the book Tree of Life Psalms, offering hope and healing in the Hebrew Scriptures, along with a beautiful faith candle.
This time is not going to be like last time. The fight is on. There's a principle I want you to see, and this is where I think we preachers messed up. In the prep of the 21st century church, we kind of messed them up. We didn't do the job that our parents did. See, our parents taught you to suffer. They taught you to do without. They prided themselves on making you have a hard time. And we hated it so that we wanted to make it easier for our children. But we messed you up because we didn't understand that there's something about the struggle. Woo! Woo! It's something about calluses in your hands. It's something about having to work after school. It's something about having to catch the bus and cut the grass and struggle in the storm. It makes you tough. Oh, y'all ain't gonna help me preach this morning. So, as parents, we messed it up because we took the discipline out of the process. As preachers, we messed it up because we taught you, name it, and claim it, declare it, it's yours. We taught you just to speak the word and you can have it. Positive confession, and it will come to pass. But that was wrong because we taught you to build houses without foundation. We taught you to go out in the parking lot and walk around the car and claim the car. But we should have taught you about the car payments. We taught you to lay hands on the house and say it's yours. But we should have taught you about interest rates. Y'all don't hear what I'm saying. If we would have taught you about interest rates, we wouldn't have these check cashing companies. We wouldn't have these predatory lenders. But because you want it without process, people will destroy you. Oh, y'all don't hear what I'm saying. I feel the Holy Ghost in this place. Flap your neighbor and say, work for that thing. Sweat for that thing. Labor for that thing. Cry for that thing. Crawl for that thing. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Ow! Slap somebody and say, it's mine. Sit down, give me 10 minutes, give me 10 minutes. My God, I feel the Holy Ghost in this place. Well, young preachers, I've hit a crisis in the text because I ought to be able to close my message right here. I ought to be able to say that if you build on a rock and you don't build on sand, you won't have no storm. I wish I could tell you that if you hit rock, you won't see floods, winds, or waves. But my dilemma in the text is that the man who didn't do the prep and the man who did do the prep had to face the same storm. I would love to tell you that if you prep right, you won't go through anything. I'd love to tell you that if you hit the rock, the lightning will not flash and the thunder will not roll. But that is not the text. For the Bible said, I feel like preaching now. The Bible said that the same storm fell on both houses. Isn't it amazing? I don't care how you pray, how you fast, how well-intended you are, how experienced you are. Every now and then something will hit you and knock you down to your knees. I wish I had some real people in here. Have you ever had something hit you so hard you thought you would lose your mind? You thought you couldn't stand anymore? The flood is out, crashing against your walls, tearing down your shutters. The flood is out, trying to break your door down. I would love to tell you that if you serve God right, the flood won't come, but the text does not give me the liberty to absolve you from the storm. It says that the rain falls on the just and the unjust. All hell breaks loose on the faithful and the hypocrite. Touch somebody and tell them, I'm in the same mess you are. I'm in the same mess you are. I cried myself to sleep just the other night. I deal with the same devil that's after you is after me. The same pressure that's on you is on me. Slap somebody and tell them it's a mess over here. It's a mess over here. The lightning is flashing. It's a mess over here. The thunder is rolling. It's a mess over here. I don't have the help I need. It's a mess over here. I'm stuck in the storm. So God, if it's gonna rain anyway, if I'm gonna cry anyway, if I'm gonna suffer anyway, if I'm gonna be tested anyway, if I'm gonna be trembling anyway, why did you make me do all of that digging if the same storm that hit my neighbor is gonna hit me too? He said the test is not just in the storm, the test is in the survival. And the Bible said, you'll know what you got by how you react to the storm. The storm came, the lightning flash, the thunder roll. I looked out the window, and the Bible said immediately the neighbor's house went down. Immediately the neighbor's house went down. When I read that, I was so glad that I didn't respond to the neighbor when he was making fun of the hole in my yard. I realized that the battle was not mine. It belonged to the Lord. And I realized time would prove who was of God and who wasn't of God. And the Bible said immediately God shut it down. I don't know who I'm preaching to, but the Lord said, don't worry about your enemies, because immediately God's going to shut it. When the odds were against me and my back was up against the wall and they were laughing at my process, making fun of my building, laughing at my raggedy car, making fun of my 7 members, making jokes about the leak in my roof. Let me tell you, when the storm came, God shut it down. And I saw him come, and I saw him go. In 36 years, I saw them come, and I saw them go. But let me tell you how it makes you feel. It's scary to walk through a land where houses are going down all around you, and you look out this window, and that house went down. And you look out the kitchen window, and that one went down too. But I heard God say, 1,000 may fall on your right side, and 10,000 may fall at your left side, but it will not come nigh your dwelling place. Slap somebody and say, I'm still here. I've been through the storm. I've been through the rain. I've been through the lightning. I've seen them rise up. I saw them come down. But I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Hold that music. This is not a praise for everybody. This is not a praise for instant grits, quick overnight wonders, people who haven't been through a storm. This is a praise for people who've been through hell and back, been through storms and back, been through lightning and back, been through hurricanes. I want you to take 60 seconds and give God a praise out of your belly. Give God a praise out of your experience. Give God a praise out of your pain. Give God a praise out of your mouth. Give God a praise. Give God a praise out of your experience. Give God a praise out of your pain. Give God a praise out of your mouth. Give God a praise.
I'll be right back with you after this.
My mind may be distraught, my body may be racked with pain, my enemies may surround me, but God, I still believe you. If I can have my little prayer time with him in the morning, I don't care what happens that day, I walk out the door armed and dangerous.
For helping us reach others with your gift of any size, you'll receive Radical Faith from the Unbeaten series on CD. Just write us, visit our website, or call 1-800-BISHOP-2. And when your gift is $70 or more, we'll give you all 5 Unbeaten messages on DVD as well.
I know who I am, I know where I am, I know whose I am, and I know when it's all over, I'm going to get the victory.
However, when your gift is $125 or more, we'll also add the book Tree of Life Psalms, offering hope and healing in the Hebrew Scriptures, along with a beautiful faith candle.
This time is not going to be like last time. The fight is on.
When will I sleep good at night?
When life gets hard and tough and you feel like you're at the breaking point, there's something about being at that point that instead of going under, you go over.
When will my marriage have the love back?
Your baby is coming. The question is, do you have the strength to back down and deliver?
When will I have real peace?
God said in times past I winked at it, but I'm not winking at it right now. You got to get right about that, because where I'm getting ready to take you this year, you got to trim your wick so you'll be lit up and ready to go. Cut it back! Cut it out! It's over.
When will my smile be real? These are the questions that plague the souls of men in silence. And the answers to those questions, they're in this message. The message is, it's all good. It is all good, even when it don't feel good.
Nowhere in the story do they brag about the quality of the house. It is not how wonderful you are, or how strong you are, or how tough you are. The devil got something out there for you. You think you're something other, but he got something for you. The determining factor between the two houses is that one of them dug down to the rock, and the other one much more quickly, got it up much more quickly, building it on the sand. But that goes up quickly comes down quickly.
Brothers and sisters, I've got to close. It's been a real joy, a real delight to share the word of the Lord with you. I am so delighted about your praise reports, your testimonies, your moments of victory. I'm so delighted to know that the word is working in your life, in your heart, and in your spirit. I want to challenge you. Will you always reap and not sow? Will you always take and not give? I want to challenge you. If this ministry's blessed your life, it is time for you to partner with us and stand up and plant with us and help me reach somebody else. You'd be surprised if you'd invest in what helps you, how God would move you from faith to faith and from glory to glory, because you're doing the right thing. Integrity means a lot in the kingdom. Exercise some and help me reach the world. God bless you. Take care of yourself. See you soon.